Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with a quick flip through of the Sweet Rose journal. Might not be quite as quick as some of my other flip throughs because there is just a lot of heart that went into this journal. This is the 1,500 subscriber custom giveaway journal that Evie was the winner for, and so I customized the journal for her as best that I could. I'm hoping that she'll love it. I think she will. But I often, when I get towards the end of a journal, I feel the need to kind of just get it done, and that's what happened with this one. I got in the studio, I'm getting prepared to go back to work / school, and I just was like, I need to get this journal done. And so I came in here and I just busted the rest of it out. I did the cover this morning. I know we did this on camera. We made the mold, and I was going to come back and actually do that on camera, but I didn't want Evie to see the journal as it was completed, and I did not want her to see what the cover looked like. So I was a good girl, Evie, and I kept that to myself. So this video will air after I know that she's received the journal. So let's get going. So this is just clay, as I mentioned. We did that in a video together. And I just layered up some, the cover is coffee dyed fabric, eyelet fabric, and then this is the lace that you'll see bits of this throughout the journal. And then I just painted the rose, a couple of tones of pink, and then I came in with just a little bit of raw umber just to create a little bit of depth. And then the gold, which you know I love if you watched me at all. And then this wraps around, got hairy stuff. This wraps around the whole journal, so I think it's really beautiful. I was struggling with what I wanted to. Oh, I forgot the dangle. I'll take a picture. I don't want to pause and get that right now, but I do have that dangle that I made, created a little eyelet there. My eyelets do not go through this chipboard very well, so I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. I also did stitch through the chipboard and through the paper that's on the inside of the cover and the fabric that's on the outside, and it was a little bit tough. So some of my stitching is not straight, but you know what I say, perfection is not at play in the studio. So the point and the heart of the matter is to just have a good time, let your creativity just flow, and know that that as long as you had a good time and you felt like you were creative, it's a win, in my opinion. I did attach this rose bit with E6000 and Fabri-Tac, and the reason why I used both is because when the clay dried, it kind of got bowed in the middle, and I wanted to make sure it had good adhesion in that places where kind of here in the middle where it's bent a little bit. I will be giving a coat of some kind of a lacquer or a sealant on this because I want to make sure that that ink, that paint does not scratch off. So let me silence my my watch here. Sorry guys. Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, in case you didn't notice, I have the watch thing. I went for it, and I absolutely am loving it. I love it. It's tracking my sleep, and it's amazing. I have to figure out how to turn it off. Hold on. Goodness, you guys could probably tell. There we go. Off. So it's fantastic, though, not to get too off topic, but I've had concerns about sleep apnea and things over the years. I'm not a sleeper. I have a lot of anxiety around sleep, and so I'm actually sleeping fairly good, and I don't have any signs as far as like my oxygen level that I'm struggling with not breathing. So that's a bonus. So let's get on with this. Goodness gracious. So I did put a few dangles. This is a 2 signature journal, and I've got these 3 little dangly things, and then I believe it is a 2 1/4 inch spine. I should have got that for you guys. Hold on. Yep. Well, it's about 2 1/4, And she's just chunky still, even though it's only 2 signatures. So that's what she looks like from the side, which, oh, I love that view. Oh my goodness, love it. And I love what this fabric did, because again, it's coffee dyed. So all this is staining from the coffee. And I'm hoping she doesn't mind that it's going to smell like coffee a little bit. So it's not a recent dyeing episode, but it does smell of coffee. So let's just open her up. So what I did is I did a hidden spine. So I did not sew the spine into the I have an internal spine that I glued into the actual spine so that we don't have any strings on the outside. I'm really loving that, and they're going very well for me. So if you look at this area here, that is just flush as it could be. I did again have problems with that eyelet, so I'm hoping that she's not going to have trouble with that. But so here we go. And then I just lined the inside with paper, and again I did stitch. I gotta move this. I did stitch around it all in one piece, so that was quite an endeavor. We got lots of crooked lines. It went off here, but you know, again, perfection is not at play. So this is a belly band, a cluster belly band that I made that we did on camera, and so I used a few of those in this journal. And so just some ephemera bits, a little card, and then some coffee dyed paper from my stash, just a little bit of writing space. And this says she is sorta far more, she is worth far more than rubies. Goodness gracious. So that is that. And then I like to put these little circles. I put, goodness, I'm going to move this up. If I need to hold the journal up, I will, to let you see closer. It's very, very tall. So I like to cut circles, and then I glue one on the front side of the page, either in the corner or along the edge. And then I glue the other one to the other side. And then I usually will put dangles or something on it. In this one, I didn't put any dangles on this stuff. I just put various colors of sari silk. And I really like that. So, and then when we turn this page, we have, this is a Crash or Trash that we did where we used some unique packaging. So this was like an Apple product that I had purchased, and I just stashed that packaging. And so it's really thick. And then this is the journal card that we made to go in it. And then we've got, I just stuck an extra bit of ephemera. I believe this is from My Porch Prints, I'm not sure. Piece of vellum. I always put vellum in my journals, at least my regular size journals. This is a page from the kit. All the kits will be listed in the video description, and in the video description, there's a link to my blog, and the supply list is on the blog. So I'll link that in the video description. And so then we turn this, we've got one of the other belly bands with a cluster belly band, and then I just created this little card because I love this flower, and I had it just as a scrap in the supplies that I was using for this journal, so I thought, why not make something fun and different? So, and then this is not a tuck or anything, it's just pretty. It says, if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely. I've never met Evie, but she just seems like one of those really sweet souls, and she's incredibly kind and very supportive of all creators that she watches and that she sees their stuff. And I am just so grateful for her. I was so honored that she's the one that won this journal, because as much as I'd like everyone to win a journal, obviously that can't happen, but I know that she's going to really treasure it, and that just makes my heart happy. All of my winners have always really cherished what I've sent them, but this is the current one, right? So the current one is always fantastic. This is that wrap around corner pocket that wraps around to a tuck spot. So it's a tuck spot here, and we just got a journal card there, and then this is a fold down, and then we've got a little pocket here with some ephemera bits, and this is supposed to go up under here. That was not latched. And then over here again, we've got the corner tuck, and we've got some more ephemera. And I just took, this was in the scraps for the in my scraps left over for the project, and so I just made a quick little tag, and I used the same eyelet lace that I've used throughout the journal on the edges and just made the topper there. I thought that was really pretty and simple. And then here we've just got a page from the kit. I believe this is from Pink Monarch Prints. It was these pages, this kit was something that Evie chose, and so I went and grabbed it and used it in the journal. And then we've got Joy in the Journey, just a little cluster there. This is one that we did very recently. This was our little stuffed, what do they call it? Stuffed matchbook style notebooks. So it's got a pocket here. We've got a bunch of ephemera in here, quite a lot actually. We've got a little bit of writing paper, a tag, and some other various things. And then we've got a little writing space that flips out here. So I thought that worked really well. It is somewhat bulky, as you can see, because I created it with that that top that would bend and fold. So we scored it in a variety of places so that it would goodness gracious, it would conform to the size of the piece. Goodness gracious. I'm going back to work / school tomorrow, so I'm trying to get some things done here today. It's like the last big day of freedom, so to speak, although, you know, I miss the kids and I'm glad to go back. It's going to be very different to not be home crafting anytime I want. So this is just this is actually from Ruby and Pearl. I just recently found her, actually thanks to Evie. She shared that she did a special spine, and she watched that on Heather over at Ruby and Pearl. So I went and grabbed a bunch of her digitals, and I'm going to be using them in the coming months because I love her style and I love her papers. So this is one of the it's a little saying. I'm not going to read them all to you because that'll take forever. And this, I believe, is from Mrs. Cogg's Crafts. We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. And I just love that. I'm a rose lover. And this is a paper clip. I believe this is one that I created a while ago. It's a hidden paper clip. And so we just clipped it to the side of the page. She can tuck something in there if she wants to. The journal was getting pretty bulky, so I did not put anything more in there. And then as you can see, it's masked on the back, so you can't see that it's, I mean, you know it's a paper clip, but it doesn't look so ugly. And then this is a cluster that I made a long time ago, and I went through my baskets, and I'm like, that would go perfect with this journal. So I just glued it on the 3 sides and then tucked some beauties in there. So lovely, lovely bits. And this is an envelope flip that we did, and I used, oh goodness, I will link it. I'm so sorry. Sam Poole Designs. There were 2 kits that I got from her. One was a peony and one was just vintage photographs, I believe. And that's what I used here. So we've got little flips and we've got little things that slide in. And if you want to check out that video, you can go to the playlist for the Sweet Rose journal, and you'll be able to see everything that I filmed for this journal. And then so it flips that way, and then it opens here. So we've got a little card here, and isn't that just precious? Oh, so sweet. Opens here. We've got a pocket, and we've got a journal card and a couple of other cards, and then this is the base, and then we've got a large journal card that slides in there. So, or is that the other side? Oh, that's coming in from the other side. I forgot how big this was. Goodness. Okay, so then you flip it over. Oh my goodness, I forgot. And then we've got another pocket, more journal cards. Oh, that's right. I was thinking that was a 3-dimensional thing, but it's not. And pardon my marks. I got chewed up by mosquitoes last weekend. We went to the beach for a couple of days and got completely decimated by bites, and I don't do well with them, so I have a hard time leaving them alone. Hence I'll have scars. Bummer. Okay, this is another page from the kit from Pink Monarch Prints. And then this is the center of the first signature, and this was actually a piece that we did. This whole thing is one piece, And it was this envelope flip as part of a journal spread, as part of a journal signature. So that's why we've got this extra page. And so I just left this open and empty for her. She can put pictures in it or whatever she wants, but I left that. And then I did tuck a couple of things in here. This was one of the cluster belly bands. I didn't want to use any more belly bands in here, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to tear off the top and bottom and use it as a cluster. So you can do both things. So I mean, I felt kind of sad about that, but at the same time I'm like, well, those top and bottom pieces will just go in the scrap bin and they'll get another life. So this is another cluster, a paperclip cluster, a hidden paperclip cluster that I made a long time ago. I think when I did the Bohemian Beauty journal, and I didn't use everything, so I put her there. And again, Evie can stick stuff up in there if she wants to. And then this is just, I think, is so pretty to look at. This is another one from Ruby and Pearl. It says, "Into the garden I go to lose my mind and find my soul." I love that. So sweet. And so we've got some bits in here for Evie to write on, just little bits of stuff so that it's not too overwhelming. If you're not somebody that's used to writing in a journal, it can be really overwhelming. And yet there is journaling space if she were to decide, hey, I really kind of like this, you know. I don't know what she's going to do with the journal, but I wanted her to have the option. So, and then here, this is an old piece that we did that I was going to try to use in the Beloved Beauty journal that I gave to my friend Sherry. And this was that swing tag that had just, yes, it's just a 3-layered tag, and it's just absolutely scrumptious. And I attached that with a masked paper clip. These paper clips we did on camera. So if you don't find it in the Sweet Rose playlist, you can find it you can just find the video. It's called something masked paper clips. So this we did very recently, and so it is Well With My Soul. So it's a pocket in a little bit of a different style than I normally would do, but which I really love. I actually saw something similar to this by Grace B Creations over on Instagram, so I did link her in the original video where I created that, so you can check her out. And then we've got another one of the belly bands, some ephemera. This is a vintage music page from my stash. It's an original. And then I stuck this is an original postcard. I've been collecting very slowly original vintage pieces, but I've been hoarding them. And I'm like, why am I hoarding them? Like, what is there's nothing so precious that I have to hold on to this for myself. And so I thought, for every journal that I do and give away, I'm going to put an original piece that I've collected. This is scanned and whatnot, so I can still use the image, but I wanted Evie to have it. And it is from 1907, and it's a whole written postcard to Miss J. Nelson in Portland, Oregon, which I thought was interesting because I'm from Portland, Oregon. I don't live there now, but I'm in Washington. But isn't that cool? Love it. So, sorry this is taking so long. Feel free to speed me up if it's too long. The other side of that music page, I'd have to look up this number, this Roman numeral, to see what year that is. I didn't make note of that. I don't know them off the top of my head. Another little journaling spot. I just folded some paper in half. This is coffee dyed paper from my stash. And this is a hidden paper clip as well. So again, it's got the masked edge there, so you can't see that it's a paper clip, as obviously. The other piece of vellum. This is an older one that I did as well, but I thought it fit really well in this journal. So it's a hidden paper clip, and it's held really tight here, and so it's very secure. But I thought I'd leave that for Evie if she wanted to tuck something in there. Or she could take these out and use them someplace else. It's her journal, so. And then this is the other side of it. And then we made these recently. These were my babushka tags, my stuffed babushka tags. I think you'll see that video before you see this one. I've got so many videos in the hopper that I lose track sometimes without looking at my schedule. But this was the inspiration for this came from Carrie at Witchcraft Do You Do. And I did a little bit of a different variation from her, but the idea came from her. I did put the pocket on though, and then I stuffed it. So we've got a little heart, we've got a little journaling card, this image of this girl, and then a couple of other. Oh, and this is another vintage piece. I forgot. I did put another one in, but look at this. So it's a with sympathy card, but it opens up like this. It's got its little sentiment, and then it opens up like this. So a person could actually write on the inside of it, which I think is just epic. I didn't even know they made such a thing. So I'm going to try to put this stuff back sort of in the right order, because this is going to hopefully go out in the mail tomorrow. Another one of the tabs with some sari silk, and then writing space should she choose to use it. This is the second wraparound. Whoops. Uh-oh. Something's sticking. That shouldn't be sticking. Oh, goodness gracious. That was terrible. I'm going to have to trim that off. We've got some glue there. So this is the other, wait, we're sticking everywhere. This is the other wraparound corner pocket with that wraparound pocket. It's got that same drop down space with a little writing space. Whoops. A little writing space and some cards in there. And then it's got this little closure and then a journal card. And again, this is from Pink Monarch Prints, the kit that Evie chose. And then, or one of them that she said she liked. And then we've got in the corner pocket just some ephemera on the vintage music page from my stash. That's an original. Another piece of vellum. This is another page from the kit from Pink Monarch. And then this was an image. I can't remember if this is from Mrs. Cog's Craft. I think it is Mrs. Cog's Craft's Roses something. Something in pink. I can't remember. It will be linked, I promise. And I just put a crinkle or scrunched up some of that eyelet trim and put it under there on that edge. And so we've got a little pocket. And then I just stuck some of those bits from Ruby and Pearl, and then I backed it with some cool paper. This one's not backed though. And then a nice little writing space here. And then we've got more of that eyelet trim, some coffee dyed paper from my stash, a little cluster. These were, I believe I called them a page edge cluster. So if you want to check out clusters, or if you struggle with clusters, I adore them. I have a recipe that I use, and so there's a whole cluster playlist. So you can check it out. Binge watch clusters if you'd like. This is another page. This is from a different kit, but it's not the predominant kit that I used in the journal, so I don't remember off the top of my head. It will be linked though for you. This is our stuffed, what did they call this? It's just a stuffed pocket. I watched it on, some crafter. It's been a little while. This should be in the Sweet Rose Journal playlist, but it's also on my channel. And if you look, you'll be able to see this image. I'll try to remember to link that. That's terrible. I should know, but it's been a while. It's whatever country she's from, and then crafter. So the blank crafter. And yeah, I gave her credit though in the video where I did it, but I just can't. I have an old brain, you know how it goes. And then it's just stuff full, as you can see. I'm not going to take all those bits out. And then we've got this beautiful image over here. And then we've got another paper clip. And we've got some more coffee dyed paper from my stash, just a little bit of writing space. And then this is the other side of the paper clip, which I actually think I made this. I made this at the end of making something else for this journal on camera, and I just kept going after I turned the camera off and I think I made some paper clips and a cluster and this hidden paper clip. So. And then this was another one that we did. This was a Crash Your Trash where we used the unique packaging. So this was another one. This is a really stiff packaging that already had the window. We collaged around it, and then it's got this little journal card that pops in there, and it just says family. And that just really, I think, is meaningful. I know that for Evie, her family is very, very important to her, as most of ours are, right? So the tag goes in the front pocket. There is an opening here, but I did not put anything more in there. Again, the journal was getting very, very chunky. So, and I thought I silenced my watch, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning the shortcuts. And then we've just got a lot of this lace trim throughout the journal as well. It's really beautiful. And then another one of those belly bands, a couple of pieces of ephemera. I think these are from my porch prints. So they have some beautiful rose stuff, so I thought I'd grab those. And then another one of the tabs with a sari silk bow. Usually I just tie them off and they just like stick out straight, but I thought, why not tie it in a bow? It's adorable. And I love this image. That's the other side of that other paper, the other side of the vellum. And this is again from Pink Monarch's Prints kit. And then this is an older cluster that I did as well, and I glued it on 3 sides. And I thought, again, it's perfect for this journal. So, and then we've got, I just tucked a couple. I had to trim these off a little bit on the side to make them fit, but I thought they were perfect. And then more of that trim, and I just layered. I love this butterfly trim, and I like the layered look. This is really white. I don't know if you can see that on camera, and this is a really pale, almost a dusty pink. So I thought they worked really well together. This is another one of the belly bands that I did on camera. It was a cluster belly band. I did tear off the top and the bottom as I did the other one I talked about a moment ago. This is one of my first envelopes that I did, where I used a mailer and I made this little thing, which I need to do more of this because I absolutely love that sound. Can you hear it? Hold on, hold on. You got to hear this. Breathe, listen. Isn't that so wonderful? Love it. So we've got this nice journaling card in there. So I definitely need to do more of those. I've got tons of envelopes. And then we've just got this says, oh, what is that? Oh, I think it's just not all the way glued. I don't think it's supposed to be a pocket. And then that's the last page. And then we've got the other one of the Matchbox style notebooks stuffed. And so I tried to put them in places where they could actually be written on, that there's something hard underneath. The other one was, it was on this page, and but when the writing space opened up, it landed on this page, so it would be actually usable. And then we've got some ephemera in here. I did this with, I just took some coffee dyed paper and I just stitched it together and made this little notebook. Kind of silly, but I thought it was fun and different. And just again, some more ephemera. Some of it's duplicated, but I don't mind. I think it's really pretty. And so that is our flip through for this wonderful Sweet Rose journal. So guys, I do want to say, just take a couple more minutes here to say that we are at nearly 1,800 subscribers right now. I can't even believe the growth on the channel, especially recently. So I will be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and my anticipation is that that very well may be the mixed media full-blown fairy journal. So it's going to be in similar fashion to this, where we're going to be using some three-dimensional elements, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be tricky for my mind, because doing things that are mixed media and three-dimensional in a journal is challenging for me, but I think it's going to be fantastic. So obviously the whole book isn't going to be mixed media, but I do definitely want to create some interactive features where we have maybe gates that open and doors that open and things like that. So I'm going to have to definitely be watching some videos on others that have done that and really play around with exploring a different way to think about those elements. So there we go. So Evie, I hope that you love the journal. You will have already received it by the time this video airs. So blessings to you, Evie. Thank you again for all of your support, and I'm so blessed that you're the one that gets to receive this journal. And for everyone else, thank you again for being here, for following, for being patient with me when things are a little bit rocky. And I tend to be very transparent on my channel, so oftentimes people know if I'm a little bit off, because I'll say, you know, I'm a little bit off. I leave my mistakes in even if I'm a little bit off, because I think there's value in that. As I say over and over, there's value in being real, and there's value in showing the underneath side of the beautiful things that we make. I think that it's a good lesson, and it helps us to know that we're not alone in our humanity, and we can be encouraged through that. So I'm going to get off my soapbox and I'm going to say goodbye. Till next time. Bye-bye.